All right. Well, Glenn first said start without him because he's going to be late
Again? I thought we
again.
moved just for him, and he's still going to be late.
Yeah, be sure to tell him that when he gets on.
Yo, kick the beat, it's PEBCAK and we're coming with the facts. Victor from the great white north, you know he never lacks. Brian on the mic, the big beard in the dome is bald and clean. And Glenn is pouring something strong, the liveliest on the scene. Shout to Ben, the dad type mentor, keeping everybody grounded. Chris, the owner, world's best host, the way the whole crew's found. Yeah, the PEBCAK fam's in the house, we're dropping nothing but the heat. The illest podcast that you'll ever hear. Just press rewind and then repeat. It's PEBCAK, PEBCAK. The whole crew got your back, got your back.
Hello, my friends.
Thank you for joining us for the PEBCAK Podcast, a weekly information security show featuring some all-around good people. It is week 27 of 2026, which means we are halfway past the halfway mark for the year. I'm Chris Louie, and happy 7-Eleven Day to all who celebrate. With me, we have my co-host Uncle Barbecue, who's still suffering from a brain freeze from that free Slurpee he got on 7-Eleven Day.
I can't tell you the last time. Actually, I think the last time I was in a 7-Eleven was in Montreal, and I threw a homeless person out of the store. But he was like being kind of a jerk. Like, it was warranted. Like, he was scaring. I don't know what was funnier. Doing that.
Terrifying.
He was terrifying the clerk. And then when I got rid of the guy, maybe it was Toronto. I don't remember. Anyways, I got rid of the guy. Then I went up to pay for my stuff. The look on his face was sheer terror. Like, he's like, oh, so now you're going to be the one that's going to mug me? I'm like, I don't understand what's going on here. He's trying to do a nice thing for you, but he looked terrified.
They're just conditioned to assume the worst.
Yeah.
Canadian, a big, scary American there. Yeah. Who's confrontational.
Yeah, probably didn't help you were holding that giant sword and yelling, "For the North!"
Yeah, whatever. But no, like, yeah, it was funny because, like, he was just, whatever, we'll leave it at that.
All right, no good deed goes unpunished, am I right?
I mean, he didn't say anything nice, that's for sure. Weirdo.
And we will soon have Glenn Medina, who marked himself safe from those riots in Laguna Beach over the 4th of July weekend. He's still dealing with that, so he'll be late to the show.
Hey, we all got 10 fingers from 4th of July, right?
Yeah, 10 fingers.
I mean, is Glenn still out there rioting? Is that why he's late today?
he's defending the shops from the rooftops down there.
Yes, fair enough.
I will say the funniest thing. Are we talking? Is this like a reference to the World Cup?
No, this is the riots that happened over 4th of July weekend.
I didn't hear about that, but my bad. Godspeed, everyone.
Yep. Defend from the rooftops. That's that worked back in '92. Our guest this week is the 4th host, Ben Coral. Welcome back, Ben.
Ben. Dover.
See, oh, dude, I thought we were friends.
We are.
Come on, we have decades of information security experience here, not just to educate, but to entertain. We've got 4 awesome stories for this week, so sit back, relax, and the U.S. men's soccer team actually won their World Cup match after 4 goals mysteriously showed up and were counted at 3 a.m. the night after the match.
I didn't know they counted that fast. Wow.
They got 29 more days to finish the count.
That's actually one of the funniest tweets I had seen.
Yeah, that one was a good one.
Unless you don't align with that thinking, then you're really offended.
Everyone can laugh at that. Everyone knows it's true.
If it hits too close to home, what? Yes. Yeah. But come on, just have some fun.
This week, we're going to talk about spies in your cars, unlimited Xbox points. For our third topic, we have another PSA on meta usage and close with failure to launch talk. Quick programming note, the PEBCAK's Guide to SE Life book is in its first review draft and going through technical review right now. We hope to get that wrapped up in the next few weeks and will be ready to release in the fall.
Wow. People said it couldn't be done, but it's almost done.
It's almost done. We're getting there. We're getting close, boys. We're getting close.
Yes.
So actually, friend of the show, Kobe Caputo, he's going to be doing the first round of technical edits, and I'm actually seeing him later today.
I don't know.
Sliding a 50 across the table, saying, here, tell me it's all good. What?
I feel like he's not even going to read it. It's like, oh, look great, guys. Yeah.
So fun fact, I think it's almost been a year since Kobe's been on the show, because the last time he was on was the episode at Black Hat, the live one we did. And he was so afraid that he would get fired from the antics we had on that show. He hasn't come back on since.
I just realized I won't be there this year to record
You
live.
will
It's
not.
kind of sad. Yeah.
I know. You told me, and then Glenn, maybe not. So it'll be... We'll see who I can wrangle to get on the pod that week, because we always do a live episode from Black Hat.
It's actually one of the more popular episodes, right?
It's usually the most popular episode of the year is the Black Hat episode.
Oh, damn. Okay.
So we'll see. A quick closing the loop topic. The last time we had Ben on, we talked about a story where malware was embedding language in payload files referencing nuclear and biological weapons to get AI analysis to crash because of its guardrails. Well, it was only a matter of time before malware authors evolved, and now we've heard they're using purported CSAM language or indicators embedded in the malware, since no security vendor wants any of that material within 10 hops of its infrastructure, trying the same trick of turning off analysis because of AI guardrails.
Yeah, another faceplant moment. I mean, seriously. But I got to have the ingenuity to these cyber criminals. Figured out these simple ways of not really doing anything, but making a little reference here. And all of a sudden, these security companies are like, nope, not touching that.
Cyber perverts. This is what these guys are.
Thank you. Yes.
Maybe that's too loose of a term. Cyber deviants. I don't know. Like if you're cyber predators, then yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
And
but you got to add that perverted in there, because the deviants, they're just up to nefarious purposes. These really are
the worst of the worst.
You guys remember DeviantArt.com? Is that still a thing?
Yeah, I remember that site.
Why did we go there? Was it to get images for your website? Yeah, it's still around.
I don't know. I never used it for my personal website, but maybe you did.
He's got deeper pockets than the rest of us. The rest of us needed to get that free artwork in.
Yeah.
But that's why it was used.
Yeah, I want nothing to do with this website now. Please edit that out. Just kidding. Wow.
Yeah.
Hey, no.
My prediction is this tactic of embedding purported CSAM material now, it'll work for about half a second, and then everybody's just going to tune their AI guardrails and say, yeah, ignore this. This is an obvious evasion technique, and then life will go on.
I heard in the UK, I listened to a podcast, and they were talking about this thing called rape gangs. I was like, what? Like, this can't be real. So I went to ChatGPT, and I was like, wanted to ask him, like, is this like a real thing? And it's coming back with all of this information. It was like literally kind of terrifying. Like, you know how you watch it and it's coming through, and then boom, you just violated the terms and conditions. I'm like, what? I was like, I was just genuinely curious. Like, this is like a real thing. So then I had to like, yeah. Then
it's just like called... asking DeepSeek, is Taiwan a country? It says, yes, Taiwan is a nope, I can't answer that.
I was like literally kind of blown away.
And how dare you ask? Yeah. This has been reported.
They're like, it's called grooming gangs. I was like, okay. And I was like, well, what could I possibly ask? I'm like, if I'm going there, I want to protect my daughter. What do I need to know? And then I was like, I'm like, why is this getting away with it? And stuff like that. It was like, it's so funny. It was just like, no, there's no specific, group of people or anything like that. I was like, okay, great. Well, I'm like, why is it like, not a big deal? Like why, why are kids getting hurt? It was like, well, it was because, from a political standpoint, the people in question that are doing it are, of this, religious background. And so they just kind of turn a blind eye. I was like, oh, I got you to admit to like what you didn't want to talk about at the very beginning. I was like, yeah.
Yeah. Intent based.
Very much intent based. Yeah. I was watching, every once in a while I Google stuff. Like, I don't even know if anyone Googles anymore, but like, I'm just like doing AI security and stuff like that just to see what's out on the ether. And, there's a CEO and he comes online and he's like talking about, like it was a YouTube short. Hey, kudos to you, buddy. I feel like we need to have a lot more of it. And he didn't talk any product, but he was talking about intent. I was like, man, I've been talking about this forever. And this guy is like a top search result in Google because he used the word intent in the AI. I was like, get the hell out of here. Hate it.
Yeah, it's better SEO, Brian. You gotta work on
Maybe,
the SEO game.
You didn't pay to.
Brian's jealous.
I am jealous. I hate when I see stuff like that.
Yeah, it's true.
I also get super, like, if it is a CEO of another company and they're in our space and they're talking about stuff and I learn something from them, oh, I'm so bitter. I'm like, no, I'm the technical person here, not you.
From the CEO.
I don't want to learn from you. How the hell are you so well spoken, jerk?
They're well spoken, but somebody gave them a little nugget, and they're just going off of it. They don't even know what they said.
You
know what?
Script.
Maybe that's true. I don't know, but still, it rubs me wrong. Oh man.
All right. Well, now we know how to hit a nerve with Brian.
Yeah.
All right, for our first topic, if you're registering a brand new car or van anywhere in the European Union, it now has to come with a built-in driver monitoring system. Now, what does that entail? A camera or a sensor pointed right at your face, watching your eyes and head position the whole time you're driving above 20 kilometers per hour, about 12 miles an hour for our U.S. audience. If the system decides you've looked away for too long, that's 3.5 seconds at highway speeds or 6 seconds at slower speeds. It hits you with a beep, a light, a vibration, or something to pull your attention back. Now, the goal is straightforward. Distracted and drowsy driving kills way too many people on the roads, and the EU wants to cut that number with mandatory technology. It's part of a bigger general safety regulation push that will also include better emergency braking and visibility. So I think they have like emergency braking for pedestrians and bicyclists. Again, I don't like the idea of my car braking for no apparent reason. It applies only to newly registered vehicles, so your existing car is fine. Now, I personally have mixed feelings about this. On paper, keeping the data local in the car as a car manufacturer's promise and not turning it into some kind of biometric ID sounds reasonable. But this is yet another always-on sensor suite in a connected vehicle that is a fresh attack surface. Another potential data collection point for those manufacturers, and one more thing that can get annoying fast with all those false positives. We've already seen drivers hack around or disable these kinds of systems when they feel they're getting in the way, and we all remember the Samsung phone that asked an Asian person to open their eyes when they were already open.
Oof.
Safety wins are great, but the privacy and security questions don't just disappear because the EU says so. So where's the footage or attention data really going long term? How's it going to be protected? And once every new car has that hardware, what else might it get used for down the road? We've already seen car manufacturers illegally selling driver data to data brokers that cause insurance premiums to go up or just outright canceled.
This reminds me of that. Number one, I hate it. I hate anything and everything about this. And it reminds me of that joke. It's like, when I die, I want to go out peacefully, like my grandfather in his sleep, unlike the other 4 passengers in his car. So let me do my thing.
Well, and that's the thing, is we're already hearing or seeing the hacks to get around these. And, the first I saw were these little bobbleheads that are being placed in cars using suction cups, where when you place them properly, it fools these cameras into thinking that the driver is always looking ahead. So faces forward. It's another one I'm seeing, a lower barrier of entry there, is somebody will paste a full body picture to the rear view that, again, makes it look like your face is always looking forward.
Yep.
Now, yes, the rear view mirror is not able to be used when you do something like that. But again, I see that as one of the problems here of, speaking of problems here, Glenn decided to join us, so we have another problem child.
Another problem, yeah.
Hey, be nice. Be nice.
But that's it. I mean, problem with these controls is people have to accept them, or people have to be willing to use them, because when they don't accept a control, they find these little hacks or these ways around them. If a user doesn't want it and it's forced upon them, some things, okay, like seatbelts. I get it. I understand.
Or airbags or anti-lock
Airbags,
brakes.
correct. Yeah. Now, in the US, about a decade ago, they put these things in place called rumble strips on the side of the road. So little textured or groove patterns on the road that if a user nods off, falls asleep, or just gets distracted and they drift out of their lanes, their tires will hit these little rumble strips. It wakes them up.
That's what it's for. I thought it was there to mix my drink while I was sitting on the car.
So mix the Jack with the Coke.
Yeah.
See? Other use cases, absolutely.
Learn something new today. Learn something new today.
See? But I like this because it's outside the vehicle. It doesn't have a way of recording who hits the strip.
No privacy concerns whatsoever.
Exactly. It's not reported back to my insurance company. Some of these things can go back. Who was actually the driver? So, there are ways of going about this that doesn't encroach on people's personal privacy.
And we laugh at the EU, but this is coming to the US next year, so we get a 1-year reprieve from it, but it's coming to the US.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to say it was me. I don't want to admit to this, but I did share a story internally of a guy driving his truck and then was being followed by a cop and took off really, really quickly, and may or may not have evaded the police going 130 miles an hour down the road, and then eventually going into state trust land, off-roading like a mofo. Great. And then I decided to go find the flock camera map. There are so many around me, man. Like,
Yeah.
like it's you made it.
Deflock.com, I think, is the one. Is that the website?
Yeah.
I think, Chris, you made a point of just like, they might show up to your house at 8:00 at night or something. I'm like, yeah, whatever. They most certainly could. Like, I don't understand. I thought it was mostly like the East Coast, but there are so many in Arizona. It is insane.
Yeah. And you're even forgetting the fact that they're deploying drones now into neighborhoods. So I don't know if you heard, but on 4th of July, they deployed drones in Sacramento and are now going back and fining people for having fireworks shows in their homes.
I saw that.
$100,000
fine.
fines. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I'd be interested in the attribution of that. Like, how good was the resolution of that drone? Maybe it happened in front of my street, but hey, Shaggy defense, it wasn't me. It wasn't me.
Yeah.
Well, but that's his thing. These flock cameras are being cut down, especially the ones that are being used when they're not at an intersection. And what is the point? Yeah, deflock.
Yeah, deflock.org is the website. Yeah.
And it's just wild. And I'm not endorsing, but really.
Did you see the ones on some of the shows? They're like, I'm not telling you that a green laser would actually disable and do that, but a green laser will actually disable that. That's pretty bad that someone would take a green laser out and destroy these
and definitely carry your phone with you so they can track your Bluetooth and 5G signal. Wink.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at this website, and now I know why this person driving the truck didn't get caught. Literally, the road that they went down has 0 cameras. All right.
Almost like you did your research ahead of time.
Yeah. That guy.
That guy did their research. Yeah.
That guy.
There's a funny post. I think it was someone was cutting down the flock and then putting an American flag in the pole that was cut down, and they said the local PD or something was putting up a tip line like, do you know who these 2 people are that keep cutting these down? Because they cover their face, so it's hard to tell. And then people are calling the tip line, oh yeah, I know those guys. They're Batman and Robin, or they're Bonnie and Clyde.
Have you seen that guy really slow, like with did we already talk about this with the Corvette 1,000 horsepower, and all he does is bait people? He goes out, it's blacked out. He has the ability to cut off all the lights on the exterior and the interior. And he's got the 360-degree camera on the back. And then he's got no license plate. And he just baits cops instead of the cops try to come get him. And he's just, boom, he's gone. Like this. Yeah, it's insane. And so, like, he is or she. I guess I don't want to gender this person, but like very much against flock cameras as well, because like that will be the thing that will probably get them one day. Yeah, but it's RLYSLO, really slow. He got a YouTube channel. The dude can cook. I'm telling you.
Yeah, that's just like back in the day. Like this, the 20-year nostalgia cycle. Because I remember like in the early 2000s, there was a series called, I'm going to get it wrong, I'll put the correct link in the notes, but it was something like Racing in Stockholm or something. And it was people on really fast motorbikes, and they would intentionally bait the cops to chase them, and then they would evade them at like 200 miles an hour on this motorbike. But it was a series. I think it was something called like something Racing through Stockholm or something like that. But similar content. I'll find it. I'll send it to you guys.
Please do.
All right. So for our second topic, a Microsoft software engineer in Ukraine was hired to test their online checkout system. And boy, was he good at his job, because he found a flaw. The platform was smart enough to block physical items from shipping to test accounts, but it would still generate real and valid 25-digit gift card codes. The digital stuff slipped right through. Instead of responsibly reporting it to his superiors, he wrote a script to automate the whole thing. And for 18 months, he quietly generated and sold the codes on a resale marketplace at a huge discount. By the time Microsoft's internal fraud team caught the spike in activity, he'd stolen over $10 million in gift card value. He bought a lakefront house and a Tesla with the money and used Bitcoin mixers to launder said money. His reward for finding and exploiting the bug, 9 years in jail, and he has to pay back most of the money in restitution to Microsoft. But the real problem wasn't just the missing money, it was the assumption that test environments are safe, isolated, and low risk. That assumption is exactly where the vulnerability lived. Test systems that can touch real money need the same scrutiny as production, or they just should not be able to touch real money at all.
All I know is that Microsoft is still printing money, because this guy can sell gray market licenses and make $10 million. How much are they making at retail? Jesus.
Yeah. This one gets me as well. I mean, again, going back, test environment, touch of production, logic gap here, some no-brainers that are there. Rather than just stopping at shipping products, maybe their detection of fake credit cards should be like, fail early, fail fast, fail often, stop, don't pass go, don't collect $200, don't issue digital credits and gift cards. I mean, yes, but 18 months, $10 million. That is entrepreneurial spirit right there.
It's a lot of scratch.
It is.
Is 10 million enough for golden handcuffs, Brian? Still not enough. Remember?
Not enough. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, what do you mean that's not enough?
He got caught.
He's got a rich lifestyle. He's got to live first. He's got to go fly first class, man.
Man, I mean, you can go to Thailand with 10 million in the bank and
extradition,
live large.
Extradition in Thailand.
All right, Ben. Way to live up to the middle-aged white guy saying, "I'm going to relocate to Thailand."
Of all countries, you picked Thailand.
Let me find an obedient one, boys.
50-50 Thailand or Philippines.
Philippines.
Ben's been doing his research over here. Ben knows his research on Thailand.
I know Brian was already talking Costa Rica, so I threw him in. Okay. Yeah. But no, thinking about this, dude's just going away for 9 years. But if he put back 5-7 million of that sitting in a bank, collecting interest or the investments he has for the next 9 years, when he gets out, is he going to have anything left?
Yeah, because Bitcoin's going to go up to 200,000 by then. So
he's got to pay in restitution. He doesn't get to keep it, unfortunately.
Well, he's only got to pay back
the original amount, right?
The original amount. And if it's doubled in value, does he get to keep the difference?
Got a hodl. Yeah, that was the big thing for FTX, because Sam Bankman-Fried had to make his customers whole. He paid them back the dollar amount, not the Bitcoin amount. And since Bitcoin like 10x'd, he only had to pay 10% back. And he's like, yep, I made everybody whole. Like, no, you made everybody whole in dollars, but not in their crypto. So yeah, it matters if the restitution is in the dollars of the crypto.
Correct. Yes. All I'm saying is crime doesn't pay. But in this case, maybe. And Brian, would you be willing to go to prison for 9 years if you're coming out and you get 100 million?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
100 million, yeah, that's easy. And I think so there's a cybersecurity angle to this, but there's also the criminal element of it. So first of all, don't do crime. Second of all, we talked about on the show before, like if you commit a crime, that's one thing. But if you commit a crime and you try to conceal the crime, which this guy obviously did by using Bitcoin and mixing services, it makes it way worse. Like, if I'm assuming if you didn't try to hide his crime, his sentence might not have been 9 years. But committing a crime and then actively trying to conceal it, that shows, criminal and malicious intent. And
how did they know it was him? How did they know it was him?
I don't know the court. I didn't read through the court filings, but it was him. It was him.
Yeah.
They hired this guy
but again,
debug the
it
test
wasn't
environment.
just and it wasn't just him trying to hide it, but the amount of exploitation of it and profiting from it as well.
And it's like, where'd you get the money for this Tesla? Where'd you get the money for this house? Like, you can
if you think
legitimately
about
show it.
Yeah, I mean, you can imagine how much he printed, because it was, I think you could buy them on eBay for $10 a license, right? So at least the average
they weren't
price
licensed. They were Xbox like game money codes. So he would print like $100 gift card and he'd sell it for $55 on this retail marketplace.
Well, there you go. There you go.
How about that?
Bad, dude.
So, and Glenn's like, oh, whoa, maybe I did know about this one. I've been buying these cards for the last year.
So what did they do to the people that bought those cards? Like,
I mean, if they spent it, they spent it, right? That's I don't know if they're gonna claw that back. It's not their fault. They got robbed. The other criminal element I was going to talk about here was you got to take the Office Space approach, right? You round fractions of a penny. Like, you don't steal $10 million in a year. That's going to set off all kinds of red flags. But you steal like $1,000 a month or something, like an extra $500 in your pocket, like tax free, like that, you can get away with that for a long time. But this guy got greedy, like 10 million in a year. Of course, it's going to set off all kinds of fraud and alarm bells, and that's how he got caught.
But that's his thing, as Brian was saying. Is this a rounding error for Microsoft? How did he get caught? Was 10 million too much?
Yeah, I'm sure there's pretty sophisticated fraud system that says there people in this region, or like people are redeeming gift cards at an unusually high rate. Like, where are these gift cards coming from? And then they trace the codes and like, oh crap, it's coming from a test system. Well, who has access to this test system? Like, oh, it's this Ukrainian guy.
Yeah, again, crime doesn't pay. He knew it was wrong. He did it anyways. I'm glad he was able to be successfully prosecuted. But yeah, crime doesn't pay for long.
It doesn't. And here's the thing, like, even if you're doing fractions of a cent, like, money doesn't lie. Numbers are numbers. Eventually, you're going to find it.
It's going to catch up to you.
Yeah, there's an electronic trail.
Exactly. You know, what's wild about that is someone who's working at F5 came out with this product called like web safe and mobile safe. So it was like doing anti-fraud type of stuff. So manning the browser, manning the mobile phone. And I had one company that was in my patch that was doing, in the financial space. And so I put together this thing, and this will just show you, like, as an SC and how dumb I was. So I finally got a meeting with the CISO and the CIO, and I was like, hey, like, this thing, I know definitively, like, we've done our homework. There is malware out there that is targeting your website to do the credential theft. Like, I know. And they're like, okay, great. And so how much does this cost? And I was like, oh, this is dumb days of like trying to size stuff. I was like, list price, and I have no rep at the time. It's just little old me sitting there. I was like, somewhere around $7 million. And the lady's like, just laughing at me. She's like, we don't even have $7 million in fraud a year, dude. Like, why am I going to spend this kind of money with you? And I was like, that you know about, but
yeah, but it could be without us.
Like, are you sure? Like, I felt so dumb that I was like, this is why I shouldn't talk about, price and stuff with them. And so anyways, it was like a month later.
Value.
Yeah, a month later, I was at Zscaler. So
here it is, guys. I did the chat GPT.
okay, go for it.
The reported annual revenue is 281.724 billion. 10 million of that is 0.00355% of their annual revenue.
Yeah, they have more money in toilet paper theft a year.
Yeah, I think it says inside here. One of the things it tells me is it's 32 million per hour is what they make.
So about 20 minutes worth of revenue is what this guy stole.
Yeah,
But
in 18 months. So.
But I would also retort that Xbox is separate division in Microsoft, and they just laid off 3,200 people, so they are literally counting their pennies right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, think about how much money they just spent in token usage.
Yeah.
Compared,
there are a lot of bad decisions made over at Xbox. I won't get into it, but yeah, that's.
But that also takes me back to 10ish years ago, where you had the the fraudulent scam, where the guy from Ukraine or Lithuania or somewhere like that was sending fake invoices to Facebook and Google as well, and they just processed them.
Yeah, it was that company that starts with a Q, right? Quantus? I think it was Quantus. Yeah, Quantus Computing. And he changed it to like Quanta Computing or something. And he's just sent him millions of dollars in invoice. Like Quanta, yeah, same thing. Let's just pay him.
I went down this rabbit hole. Sorry, guys. It's 23.5 billion for their annual revenue. Compared to the 10 million to that, it's 0.043%. It's still small.
Yeah.
Glenn did the math.
Sorry, I didn't do the math. ChatGPT. So I leveraged Microsoft ChatGPT. Yeah, thank you.
That is insane.
But Glenn paid 50 cents for the tokens for ChatGPT to do that for him.
When you could have used the calculator app.
Here's something that's funny. Like I still use a lot of ChatGPT. For coding, I'm using Claude. But the other day I was like, this whatever. I'm on LinkedIn, so I go to Anthropic's page, and I'm just trying to see who do I know there. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, oh my God, they have 4 million followers. I'm like, Jesus Christ, that's a lot. So then I was like, I go back to Zscaler. How many followers do we have? That follow the company page, and it's 500,000. I'm like, what? And they're not even publicly traded. So then I was like, that's wild. And so and then you think of market share, and you think that Anthropic is just crushing right now, at least from a social media. That's all you ever hear. So then I go to OpenAI. They're at 11 million followers. I'm like, what the hell's going on right here? Both privately held companies.
First.
Yeah,
but first.
Is that not crazy that they have that kind of and neither one of these companies are public yet?
No, it's because they're literal household names. Ask the average person what Zscaler is or Netscope or Palo Alto. They don't know that, but they've heard of ChatGPT or Claude.
Insane.
Yeah, fair enough. And again, how many of them are real?
Half.
Yeah.
Quarter.
Half.
10%.
Yeah, half. The other are going to be bots, but
the AI
still,
ChatGPT created fake profiles. All right, for our third topic on the topic of social media, Meta rolled out this AI image generator that's baked right into Instagram. If your account is set to public, anyone can just tag your username in a prompt, and Meta's AI will pull from your photos and reels to generate new images of you or with your likeness. No heads up, no permission slip, it's just on by default. They frame it as fun for custom invites or creative mockups, but come on, it's training fodder for the models, and anyone can remix you without you ever knowing. Now, there is a fix. You have to opt out manually if you open up your Instagram app, hit your profile, the 3 lines at the top, go down to sharing and reuse. You just toggle off the setting that says allow people to use your content on Instagram and with AI features on Meta for both posts and reels. It only takes 30 seconds, but I hope your profile is already set to private.
Can you imagine? They're like, oh, we need a fat white guy. Brian Deitch, baby. And before photos are coming in. I don't think that, number one, don't have an IG. But if I did, I don't think anyone's using me to sell product unless it's the before video of like, this, or maybe the after, like, this is what happens, after chemotherapy, and, like something like that.
Yeah.
But if I was young and sexy, my 20-year-old self, I'd be really upset with this.
Yeah.
By the way, I was never sexy. I'm not a thing.
We've seen the pictures. We're all well aware, painfully aware.
Painfully aware.
Oh, yeah. But
I was going to say, just real quick before you go, I opened up a session the other day, and I was like, I don't know what I was thinking. I was like, so yeah, I know what you guys thinking. Like, why is there a male model, presenting to me from Z-Squared? I was like, it turns out I'm not as handsome as my mom led me to believe. So I do cybersecurity instead, and people are like, what the hell's wrong with this guy?
So you say you got a face built for radio? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. A voice for
That's not true. That's not true.
Oh, we can't all be as good looking as Glenn is. So the rest of us are.
Well, you should all be so lucky.
You know what I say about Asian people? We don't wrinkle because you stay chunky.
I like that. But no, coming back to this one. But somebody came up with this idea. Somebody was, who thought it was a good idea? Okay, but who thought enabling it by default would be okay?
Zuck.
It should be an opt out. You would think that these are automatic opt out. Yeah.
There's like a long. Yeah, there's like a long history of auto opt-ins. I think LinkedIn was one, Microsoft 365 was one, and they got all kinds of backlash, and then they turn it off. But everybody tries to sneak one past the goalie and just turn this on by default and hope no one notices.
90%
opt into it.
Of kids today want to be popular, and like this their way. Look at me eating an Oreo cookie shake. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what they want. They're just dumb. Knowing, I have a feeling like if I told my daughters, like, you should do this, I'm like, I don't know, Dad. I might be on Love Island one day. I'm like, God, I hope
not. I don't know, but now I want a Chick-fil-A Oreo milkshake.
Ugh, yes. Let's go.
Yeah.
So if you're private, you can't be seen anyway, so they can't do it.
Yeah, exactly. Set your profile to private like mine is.
Yep.
Only allow certain people. I actually add, I think it's been my policy ever since I had social media. I add exactly one coworker per year, and I think I've held true to that.
That's a good policy. I like it.
Yeah, because I get weird requests from like people that I prefer not to be able to see in my personal life. I'm like, I don't use social media. I didn't see your request.
Yep.
Yeah, I add them. I just don't do anything in my social media for anyone to do anything with anyway. So it's fine.
What I do get in my feed is Glenn liked this photo. I'm like, oh, what's Glenn been liking lately?
Well, I don't do a lot of likes. I don't do any likes. What are you talking about?
Which is why when you do like something, he's interested.
But hold on. You know what I do like is if I do like something, it's something Grace did, so that where it's a picture of you anyway for your ops.
It's secular, right?
Ooh,
you're no bueno.
Secular reasoning.
So,
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So he's liking something to bring it to your attention. He's helping you.
He's helping me. Yeah.
I'm helping show him what his wife is posting about him. So
Yeah, but again, just goes to show you gotta be careful with all these opt-ins. If you're not paying attention, then you're just getting opted in. Because I remember was it when the Facebook first had the feed and everyone called it Facebook Stalker Edition? Like that was a thing, and then when they had started at the early days of targeted ads, Zuck sold it as personalization. So you had this personalization feature, and basically that just meant it uploads your data so they can sell you targeted ads, and they're just always doing this crap and trying to get away with it.
Pulling on heartstrings. We talked about this with the Super Bowl commercials with the Ring cameras. Enable the AI features and it'll help you find your lost dog.
Yep.
How are you selling this? They know they've got to sell it to you in a way that makes it palatable instead of telling you what they're doing and why they're doing it and doing it by default.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Let me just bring this up because you just unlocked a very probably embarrassing memory. So the kids were young. Wife was pregnant at the time. And No, before she got pregnant. I forget. But somewhere along the line, we should get each kid a cat. So we go to some sketchy lady's house and we all get a cat. And, one of them freaking hates my son. The other one, every time you pick it up, just literally defecates everywhere. And then my wife gets pregnant. And then I am like, working 2 jobs, coming home, and I'm to clean a litter box because you can't be pregnant, touch a litter box. Apparently, it's like a thing.
Yep.
So I'm like, I can't deal with this. Like between the cat just like trying to like, I 100% believe that 3 fully grown cats could probably kill a human being. Right? Yeah. They're just vicious. So the one that doesn't like my son, and the other one that just craps everywhere. So I have the idea, like, we gotta get rid of these cats. So I'll take it to the shelter, but like instead of doing the responsible thing and telling the kids like, hey, the cats are too much and we gotta, send them on their way, we will just this is so bad. Guys, where are the cats at? Who left the back door open? They must have ran away.
No,
yes,
you put the
dude.
lost cat posters on around the town.
Put the cat posters.
You know where they're at, Brian? I can tell you where they're at. They're at Chris's house.
Oh my gosh, I want to say that we told them about it, years later, and they were just like, "This is so effed up." They just the whole time like,
whole world is shattered.
The whole time they're just like blaming each other, and I'm just like, "Yeah, this is a coward." Nope, yeah. I took him to a kill shelter.
Oh.
Anyways,
right, well, on that note, since
I'm a great human being.
This one feeds right into this next topic.
It does feed right into this next topic. Great segue, Brian.
You're welcome.
For our last topic, it'll be a rotating topic every week. This week, we're going to talk about failure to launch, or maybe success. A new stat came out prior to the pandemic. 37% of American adults under 30 in America still lived with their parents. That number has grown to 49% this year, according to the Federal Reserve. 1/3 of adults are over the age of 25. This trend did not die out after the pandemic ended. It actually started with the pandemic. People just moved home and saved money, worked from anywhere, and work from home return to their childhood home. Now, there are actually second-order effects of this trend. Homeowners are designing houses for parents to live upstairs and room for adult children downstairs, complete with separate kitchens and entrances. And there is a famous 2006 movie called Failure to Launch that covers exactly this trend. Now, Gen Z sees living at home as a financial flex if you're saving the money on rent or for something in the future. They're not like losers, like Brian says. Back in 1996, housing was 28% of your income, but today it's about 35%. So we saw about a 7% increase in how much of your income has to go towards housing. Sky-high rents and home prices, especially in expensive coastal states like ours, student debt piling up, wages not keeping pace with inflation, and shaky job markets in tech and other fields that these young people chase. It's need-based more than the kids these days. So you all have kids that are grown and growing. What are your thoughts of this trend of adult children staying at home longer?
I mean, if the kids are actually saving money, then I guess I'm all for it, right? Like, get a bag, buy a house, go for it.
Yeah.
But I will also say that I shouldn't say all of my kids because one of them's under 18. 3 out of the 4 that are over the age of 18 have all successfully moved out and living on their own. So
nice.
Yeah.
No comments. I've got no comment.
I know now am I going to be the one? Because I got 2 that are over 18 and both of them, one has a full-time job, but there's no way she would be able to pay rent and support herself in a larger metropolitan city.
Yeah.
So now my son just graduated this year, so it hasn't yet landed that first full-time role, and he will be moving home in a couple of weeks as his college apartment time comes to an end. But no, that's what this really comes down to, is one of the jobs he was interviewing for. has a hybrid model where you're in the office 2 days a week and working from home 3 days a week. And he was looking at driving 200 miles, working that day in the office, staying in a hotel, working the next day in the office, and then coming home. And it would still be cheaper than having a place with full rent, full utilities, and everything to go with it. So, it is wild what's going on with the increase in rent.
And I think that's also like maybe not a misconception, but it's sort of like the speech Tyler Durden gives in Fight Club that says, when we were young, people promised that we'd be rock stars, and when we grew up, we found out we're not rock stars, and now we're really mad about it. Was part of the pitch was that, I'm gonna hustle, I'm gonna work really hard, I'm gonna get a job, and then get my own place. And I think the misconception here is that, I live in the Bay Area, and cost of living is astronomical here. Like, most people work down the peninsula, Menlo Park, Palo Alto, maybe in San Mateo. And if you want to get, I think the news headline just said a 1-bedroom in San Francisco now is $4,000 a month. Like, so $4,000 a month times 12, that's $48,000 post-tax just in housing. So your salary has to be, you think of an entry-level job, $100,000 software engineer job right out of college. That's 50% of your income. And that's actually 100% of your income, right? Because 100,000, take half for taxes, you're left with 50,000, then your housing costs are 48,000. That doesn't add up. It's like, it's not sustainable. But you have a right to live, where you work. But that's where you get people like, they have to live out in Concord. I'm sure a 1-bedroom apartment in like Concord is $2,000 a month. There's something much more reasonable. Yeah, your commute's gonna suck, but like that unfortunately, that's part of work. Like, you can't live in San Francisco and have an entry-level job. That's just not realistic.
Well, and that's the sacrifices that you have to decide. Am I going to do that? Am I willing to have a longer commute, or do I have 3 roommates?
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm sharing bathrooms because I want to live closer. Or, as Brian was saying earlier, work 2 jobs. Does that suck? Absolutely, that sucks. I worked 2 jobs for 15 months and 2 full-time jobs. And I can tell you, I aged probably 5 years during that period of time. But that was what I needed to do, even 20 years ago, to take care. So are you willing to sacrifice now when you're young and staying with if your parents allow you to stay home, and you can stay home and save up for when you are going to move out, or perhaps you're going to go back to grad school and you're going to work your way through grad school. Well, are your parents willing to allow you to stay there? But the other thing you also mentioned, Chris, is the pancake generation, and your parents move in with you, your kids still live with you. That's a lot of stress.
Yeah, there's a lot of people under one roof.
I will say this though, like, I am trying to, like, I think I came off a little like, my kids are great and they moved out, right? And and if you haven't been able to achieve that, then you are not successful. The reality is, I think my oldest daughter lived at home, and the idea was to save money, and there was still expectations that even though you were an adult, like, there's still some rules that are around here. It wasn't easy.
Yep.
Like, it was a lot of tension in the house, right? Because I was just like, no, like, I know that you live here and you're an adult, but you still have to pull your fair share of weight around the house. And I think ultimately, that was the biggest reason why she had moved out. She's just like, I need freedom. Like, I am at this point in time, I'm 21. My dad still wants me home at midnight. I don't care. Like, the only thing open after midnight is legs, right? So I don't need to worry about that. Like, if
nothing good happens after midnight.
Nothing good happens after midnight.
Well, no, and that's the thing is, our kids still have to pay for their cars, their insurance, their phones, all of those things. Mm-hmm. Those are their bills. Those aren't my bills. But living at home is, I'm going to bed at 11:30, and if I'm going to be late, I send it to the group text chat of, hey, this is where I'm at. This is what's going on. So I expect anybody living in my house to have that courtesy as well. But if I'm going to bed, it means the dogs are going to bed. If you wake the dogs up at 12:30 because you're coming home at 12:30, you stay up with them to get them calm to put them back to bed.
Yeah.
I'm not getting up because you came home late.
Yeah. Yeah. Still rules and responsibilities. It's not.
Yeah. If you want to be treated like an adult, act like an adult.
I will also say this, and I guess it's a little sexist. I did want to, if I had the ability to keep my girls home until they got married, that was ideal. But for my son, it was as soon as you graduate, you got to, like college, right? You have to figure it out. Like you're out of the house. I didn't really want you to be out there. And I guess that's a little harsh, but the reality is just like, you're a man, you got to go out there and pave your way, right? Like it'd be great. Like honestly, like if my son could have lived at home and made $100,000 a year and saved all that, as opposed to he's nowhere near 35%. I think his total living cost is closer to 20%, maybe 21, which is still amazing, right?
Yeah, that's good.
And then bank the rest of that. Oh my gosh, that would have been phenomenal. But
correct.
But I think if you just you coddle them a little too much, like I don't know, especially the boys, like you want them to be out there successful and to work hard and figure out like how to not game the system, but you know, there are a certain amount of politics that are going with it and things like that. And honestly, like if you're 25 years old living at home, like what chick's gonna be like, hell yeah, let's get married. You know what I mean? Nah.
Hey, can I move in with you too? You know, can we share your twin bed in your house? Will your parents mind?
Oh my gosh.
You want to raise kids that are street smart. That's the thing.
Exactly.
But, yes.
So I was actually one of those. So after I graduated, I moved back home, and you know, my parents lived in San Francisco. I worked in San Francisco. It made sense, but like I kind of opened up with the story. Like I was working towards something. I wasn't going on extravagant vacations or buying frivolous things. Like I was building something. I was dating my girlfriend at the time, who became my wife, and you know, she gave me plenty of hassle about living at home and the need to be independent and to move out. But you know, on the flip side of that was, you know, right before we got married, I was able to buy a house. That I was able to buy our own place. And if I was spending, you know, I was making $17 an hour my first job out of college. Like you can't save like a down payment on a house in this area is over $100K. Like that's no secret at the time. Like you can't save
at the time
$8
down payment.
Yeah, $8 an hour. And being able to save $100K while spending 50% of your money on housing. So there's something's got to give situation there. I think it's more understandable now, like because we have friends that have siblings that they're around our age, they still live at home, but then they blow their money on, you know, extravagant vacations and stuff. Like they're never going to move out. They have no incentive to move out. That's one way, and you can judge them how you want. But there's also the adults that are working and saving and building towards something just because the cost of housing where I happen to live is just so astronomical.
The you know, having a plan and stuff like that is paramount. And I just had like a conversation with my 17-year-old, and she's just like, I don't understand like why you make me save my money. And I was just like, hey, it turns out everything you need is covered by mom and dad. I don't want to tell you.
Yeah.
And as long as you're under my ruling, your money comes to me. And like, basically it was just like, she had finally had a nice big paycheck come in for working over the summer. I was like, no, your budget is, you know, here's $35 a week for gas and $25 a week for you know, whatever you want to spend it on. And she, you know, of course she blows through the 25 or the 50 and, you know, within hours of getting it. And she's like, I don't understand that. I was like, well, here's the thing. So all of May, I didn't put the guardrails on you. So you were like doing side jobs, like babysitting and do different things like that. And you were making all this money. By June 1st, you had $200 left to your name. Like,
yeah.
And I was like, and you blew through 800. Like you don't have the capacity to save. So I was just like, let's, you know, got to do it my way. If you don't like it, that's okay. But you have to understand, like, I know that you have like she's got like this huge, you know, number one, she's like, I want to have an emergency fund of $1,000. I was like, great, let's get you there.
Good
and then
plan,
two, yeah, she's like, I really want to go to like a K-pop concert. It's called Stray Kids next year when they do their world tour. And she's like, I know that's going to take money. I was like, well, the only way you'll ever have enough money is if I force you to save it. Like, this is it.
Yep.
She's like, I don't like it. She's like, but I understand it.
Personal discipline or forced discipline. I mean,
those are the two options.
And I was telling her, I was like, I was like, I don't know that you're going to see or really understand this until you go to buy those tickets, because she wants like the pit and you're going to drop like $1,000 on it. And then you're going to have to get a hotel room, and then you're going to have to drive your car out there. And then when you're there, you're going to buy, the swag. And I said, I think at that point in time, when you do that and you're like, and you come home and you're not broke and you still have money saved, you're like, oh, this actually makes sense. Like, it was worth saving. It's one of those things. It's like hard to kind of understand that when you're young.
Right. It's short-term versus long-term gain. Right. Short-term pain, long-term gains.
Yeah.
And it's really nice. You go on vacation and you're able to not worry too much and skimp and worry about every dollar that you spend, because you were disciplined throughout the year. You've got a little bit more flexibility there.
Yeah. I guess the last story before I wrap this up, to your point, Ben, like when we were younger, when we didn't have quite as much money, like we went on vacation with friends that counted every penny, and we went on vacation with friends that are like, yeah, that's cool, let's just do that. It's much more enjoyable when people don't have to count their pennies for everything, because you don't have to like budget everything and like, oh, I can't afford to go here, let's go here instead. Like, oh, okay. Yeah, so it's nice to go somewhere when people save up and then can splurge a little bit on vacation, like you said.
It's funny, like I hate the people that say like money can't buy happiness. I'm like, literally, money.
Look at the smile on my face. Ear to ear, baby.
Money fixes literally all of my problems. Period. Like that. Like all of my problems in life when I was younger were surrounded by money.
That's it. Okay, so the quote is: "Money cannot buy happiness, but it can buy a very close facsimile to it."
No, I thought it was like money can't buy happiness, but it can buy a jet ski. Have you ever seen somebody frowning on a jet ski? He's like, those idiots smile on their way hitting a dock. I'm like,
so
but remember, give it gas a turn. I think it was Daniel Tosh said that.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, we continue to get great comments about our dad joke of the week.
Dad joke of the week.
This week, Brian was supposed to be up, but dad jokes are too beneath him, so I'm up.
Damn right.
A man from my city is wanted for stealing wheels off of police cars. The police are working tirelessly to catch him.
Yeah.
All right, Ben threw some in here, so I'll let Ben go.
Ben.
That was just so bad. So yes. All right, let's see if you can pick up on my theme for the day. And my goal is just to make Brian smile, not even laugh, but
grin.
At least try. Yeah, a grin would be fine. So
impossible.
All right. Yeah, we'll see. Why was the iPhone wearing glasses?
Why?
Because it lost all its contacts.
Stupid.
You got a smirk.
All right. What do you call an iPhone who can sing?
Siri.
What?
An iTunes. No. Come on.
Not gonna happen here.
All right. I got another. If an Apple store is robbed, who do the police hope to talk to?
The eyewitness.
The eyewitnesses.
I think I told that one a while ago.
I
seem to remember that one.
Hopefully the best, worst one. Last one. What's another name for apple juice?
Eye juice.
An iPhone charger.
All right, got a nod out of Brian.
I will say the only thing that has been redeemable at all with these stupid jokes is last week when I was in like downtown area. I was walking and there's like this disabled vet. I wouldn't say that he was homeless, but he's like, he's kind of pandering for money. He's like, "Hey, I got a dad joke for you." And then he what was the joke you did last week, Chris? Where it's like, because they have no horns or something.
Something about cow. It wasn't. I didn't do it. I think might have been Ben Kessler.
Something about no cowbells or something because it has no horn.
Yeah.
But he told that joke, and I was like, that is actually really ironic because I just heard that a couple hours ago, and you're telling me. And then I was like, I should record it and then share it with you guys. I'm like, I don't want to encourage this behavior at all. So
All right. Womp womp.
Womp womp.
All right, to wrap things up, the EU is requiring spy cameras in your cars with the US rollout next year. Stealing Xbox gift cards will land you in jail. Surprising absolutely no one, Meta doesn't care about your privacy, and we're never getting rid of our kiddos. That's all I have for this week. We hope you enjoyed this week's episode. You can find us on LinkedIn. Links will be in the description. Follow us on Instagram at PEBCAK Podcast. Thank you to our listeners and subscribers. Rate us 5 stars in the iTunes Store and Spotify, and left us a review. We appreciate you all spreading the word to help grow the show. The best way to find us is to search for the PEBCAK Podcast in your favorite podcast listening app. For my co-hosts Brian Deach, Glenn Medina, and Ben Coral, I'm Chris Louie. Thanks for listening. We'll see you all next weekend. As always, have a nice day.
Bye, Felicia.
I was waiting on it.
Yeah.
Have a nice day.